about that today. So, well, can you hang out? Because I need to talk to them. It's not on the agenda, but
Yes.
I got a hold of that adjuster yesterday.
Okay. Did he give us a direction?
Not really.
Okay. Just sit by you, is that all right?
That's fine.
But I got the end of it, I'm like,
He was saying, because I didn't think we shouldn't turn it in as a claim.
Okay, you just do it?
Well, but this guy said the metal, there's not enough metal
No.
to finish it. And he's saying now that even if you brick out part of it, there's still not enough metal.
Correct. That's correct.
Okay, so he's saying the metal alone for the whole, just the front, be about 10 inches.
I was gonna stall
And then
for
he
you.
said there's metal inside that have to be replaced and taken out, 4,000. The roof guy hasn't gotten back with him yet, because we don't want to avoid that warranty on that roof
Right,
up there.
right, because we just had that done last year.
So he said this claim can be anywhere from 15 to 20,000. I need to know to them, they're ready to go forward with it.
Okay.
And,
Can I hang out?
yeah, I want you to, because I want you to address if you want that ledge there and you want that look.
Yeah,
then
they,
Hey, you know,
What they
we
were-
saved this up just for you.
may have to bid
Consider
it,
this our
you
little
know?
welcome back present.
they're gonna do the driveway.
No,
If they do the brick, there has to be a ledge for that brick to sit on.
I had to leave early, but it was pretty interesting, while I was still here.
It'll have to drop down, do the forward, do the long.
That's about the only way I could put it. Jeff, I thought Jeff and Chris were gonna come to blows.
Oh, really? Chris was here, huh?
Yeah. Chris was here with his attorney, and he took
For
his
BOE?
Yeah, he took his position, which is he's allowed to. Technically, the assessor's part of the BOE,
Uh-huh.
but it's not a. It is a non-voting member, which means they get to deliberate. They don't get to vote.
Yeah.
So he decided to deliberate, didn't he?
I don't agree with it. Is that on Old Town?
Yes. He lost. It took a couple shots at it. It took us 2 votes the first time because we only had, since you were gone,
Right. Somebody else was going too.
somebody else was gone, so we had to have 4
And a
votes.
couple of
We only
people
had
had abstained. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that.
we only had 6 votes, so we had 4. We only had 6 people here. We only had. We ended up with a 3-1 vote, which wasn't sufficient. So then we had to debate it some more.
That was funny in itself.
Finally, we got Scott Schaefer coming to flip his vote
Oh,
no
yeah?
to a yes on our motion.
Ain't his dad an attorney?
And Scott?
I
don't
thought he
think
was a
so.
lobbyist maybe or something. My mom knew his dad for something.
You're thinking of Jeff Schaefer.
Yeah, he's an attorney, but he's not related. He's from Owensville.
Scott's dad, son, do so Scott's
Y'all ready?
got a state of mind.
All right, we're going to call a commission order. We have any minutes reports, Patty?
I do have
Collector's fees. Any commission reports or upcoming meetings and or other stuff?
Road and Bridge Advisory Committee met this morning. I had to cut out early, but they were still
Big
meeting.
agenda.
So
How'd that go?
it was good. Just getting the product or job status update, discussing the new sales tax when that will come due in 2016 or.
Is that right? 16?
We'll have to start working on it.
You can probably start working on it now. I mean, it's
Mhm,
good to
yeah.
have the committee work or the board working on it.
Yeah.
I meet with the LU cabinet tomorrow.
We got leadership tomorrow?
They got leadership on Friday,
Oh, tomorrow's Thursday.
but I don't know if we're having it or not. I haven't seen an email. Sometimes we don't
Yeah.
have stuff in.
We got the invite.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess
Should
we're
have.
having it. I got on my calendar. I plan on being there.
Okay. Got Board of Realtors have their meeting today, and they're gonna have discussion about the zoning. So,
We got an RPC meeting today if I make it. So
Okay.
it's a lunch meeting.
First item on the agenda: signing a 2014-15 WIC contract. Christy.
So this is just the contract that we received from the Department of Health and Senior Services to pay for our WIC staff and to keep the WIC program up and running.
All right, I entertain a motion to approve the contract with Health and Senior Services on WIC.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, call roll.
Chris,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Yes.
By roll call vote, contract's approved. Thank you. Signing of agreement with CenturyLink for overhead paging system in Sheriff's Department. That's a long.
the yearly agreement, we already have it in the budget.
Okay. Maintenance agreement.
Yes.
All right, I entertain a motion to approve the agreement with CenturyLink.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, call roll.
Jeff,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Yes.
By roll call vote, that agreement's approved. Accounts payable review, you want to wait a little bit on that while you're looking
Yeah.
through them? All right,
Yeah.
we'll just move that. Oh, boy. Now we get into the long stuff. Here we go. Discussion of... hang on. Let me poll the room real quick here, because I know there's some stuff that's probably quick as opposed to long and discussion-based. Maybe if we can get some of those things done here. First reading of budget adjustment 10.
This is for the $80,000. This is the input from the other departments.
Get all the checks?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna run the assessors right here. but
Good.
I do have
Okay.
You got
All right, we'll hold it for 10 days and move on from there. That looks like the only thing that's short on this agenda, isn't it? I warned you this was going to be a long one. All right, Mike, you're up. FF&E Furniture is the first item.
Hey, here's that.
Oh, cool.
There's a bunch of stuff on there. I started trying to figure out which one it was.
Maybe explain it to us, Jennifer.
The recommendation will come from EMS, but just to explain the spreadsheet a little bit, I broke it down by room. There's the cost for each. The alternate you see on the far right is for the recliners, for basically the living room furniture. They would prefer to get that elsewhere. At the bottom of the sheet, you can see the total for everything, the total cost of the furniture plus the install, plus freight and design. There's a couple additional items on there that we would like to throw in there. I outlined those as well for the very total at the bottom for each vendor.
Go.
The recommendation is for the lowest best bid, which is, which is the 45,844.29. Just to echo what Jennifer said, we detailed it for each area, the bunk room, the day room, dining, dispatch, and so on. Everything's clearly outlined how much and where. Like I say, with the lowest best, not sure which vendor that is. Would it be Schrieffer's the lowest?
Schrieffer's lowest. Okay. Gentlemen? Questions?
I'm still struggling with it all.
So we didn't. Are we not doing lounge chairs? I mean, this is the hard part for me. Is that Samco has lounge chairs on here, ottomans, end tables. Schrieffer's doesn't have any.
The Schrieffer's did not have that available to them aside from the recliner, but if you look over in the alternate, they went to local stores,
Okay.
and so that is that price. So actually,
So-
the total price at the bottom includes
That
everything. for the
54,
office
49, 80.
spaces. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly,
Okay.
plus that price.
Okay.
But the lounge furniture itself is not coming, according to what I was told, they wanted from either Samco or Schrieffer's. It will come from other places. And then I put the asterisks at the bottom where those places are, if you're interested.
Warranty on any of this stuff?
It's all outlined at the bottom, at the very bottom in the box. It outlines the basic category and then what each one offered and then the corresponding warranty.
The only difference, Chris, would be between the two vendors would be the Lazy Boy versus Ashley.
Right.
One is lifetime, the other is 5 years.
I mean, overall, it's more than I want to spend. But mean, I would. I've had some issues with one vendor and their warranty, and so I would definitely try stuff out before we get it, because I've seen a nice warranty and the stuff was junk. I mean, literally junk.
Really?
Yeah.
We have done somewhat of a test drive with some items, Bill.
The chairs were brought by,
Okay.
and they set them those, and, all you can do is go off what they tell you the warranty is.
I understand.
But the chairs, as far as comfortability and functionality and stuff, everyone agreed that the cheaper one was the better fit for all their needs than the other.
And they just seemed like they were solid, good quality. I mean, you know, a lot of times you can sniff and field test, and you know.
We did as
Hell,
much of
I
a,
mean, it's true.
Never quite heard.
Yeah, whatever.
we did as much of a test drive as we could,
Okay.
and yes.
Like I said, it's more than I want to spend, but I'd like to get it done. So
I concur. So are we good with approving the bid of Schrieffer's then?
I don't know if it's necessarily the bid I got a problem with, it's just everything, there's just a lot of stuff that to me seems kind of extravagant and maybe over the top a little bit.
Well,
Playroom.
we've had this for a long time. What was it that you found that's extravagant? And let's
Same
see.
stuff I said the last time, rocker recliners, lounge chairs, ottomans. We're up to, I mean, it's a lot of money to be spending there on that stuff. Some of the stuff we have to have, I don't have a problem with that. Desk chairs, while we're putting in new stuff, make it nice, get it up to date.
I mean, I think there's value in investing in some decent stuff, because then we don't have to replace it in a year or two. This stuff's going to get used a pretty fair amount.
But if you're there and we got 7 beds and you're sleeping, but then you got a day room, I don't pick on you too much. But
No, that's fine, Jeff. I agree.
Well, I mean, the beds are the beds. That's one. Maybe we ought to just walk through each set.
I'm
Where's the
fine with
extravagance at?
day room.
Day room?
Day
Okay.
room's where I've got the biggest
What?
ordeal.
What's the problem in there?
All of it. Just get a couch. I mean, what is the day room? What is it for?
Can I show you this, Jeff? That, or everybody? It will
Did you
detail
email that
what-
to us?
Yeah,
Or had
I
you?
did.
Okay, I'm
If
sorry.
that will help kind of give you a vision of what is going where.
I just struggle with the day room in general.
I mean,
I figure if you're working, you should be working.
I think you're probably going to use a day room more than the.
I agree.
Yeah.
For what? Sitting on your ass?
Okay.
Well,
So,
I don't mean to be blunt, but yeah, I do.
So what are they supposed to do between calls?
Wash a truck? I don't know what the firemen do. They're always washing
They
trucks.
sit in the day room and watch TV.
We got files that need to be filed. I'm sorry, I have a problem with 24-hour shifts and paying people not to work. So it may be stemming from different stuff.
And we've hashed through that, and I mean, I don't think any of us are happy with 24-hour shifts, and we've made that very clear over the years. I mean, Mike knows that, but
I can still have a problem with it though.
I think we got to move
It's
forward.
just like your wife. She's going to remember stuff from 40 years ago that happened.
I think we just got to move forward.
5 rocker recliners. So we got 5 people that are going to be sitting on their duffs at a time over there.
We can put your name on one of them.
We've got a couple that have commissioner on the back.
A tough crowd.
As long as it doesn't say presiding on it.
It'll say
Yeah.
CMM,
Yeah, passed.
ex officio, you know.
I don't. I'll tell you what. I don't see anything in the day room that bothers me a bit. It makes if there was anything in there that would surprise me, it's why we have ottomans when we have rocker recliners. That's probably the only thing that looks like a bit of an extravagance to me. I'll tell you what, Jeff. I'll trade you. You approve the rest of it, and we'll throw out the ottomans.
Well, we didn't get down to the dining room yet. We got 18 chairs,
Yeah.
4-foot round table.
Yeah.
You can put what, 6 chairs around 48-inch round table. Why don't we just get a big conference table? I mean, is this an eating area?
This table is the one that they're
There's not enough room. Look at it, Jeff. You got to you do actually have to look at how it's laid out, and it's 2 4-foot tables, not one.
Yeah, I saw the 2 4-foot tables. You need about 4 chairs around each one.
You want to just that marker?
Where's the other 9 chairs going?
Around the conference table,
Around the existing table?
around the big conference. Yeah. See the extra.
Um, Where's your conference room at? That's the conference room?
The day room, yeah, they can function as a conference room, yes. And then we have Bill bars as well if we need to get a little bit.
I don't know. I just think we're getting a little extravagant with it and just spending money loosely. We need to get it done, get taken care of. You two are all right with all the other couches and chairs, then just go with it. I'm not holding it up anymore. We could sit here and hash it out all day, but got better stuff to do.
All right. You okay?
Yeah.
I entertain a motion to approve staff recommendation.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
He
I
came
approved
around.
the bid. I didn't approve the layout.
Okay. We'll accept
I
that.
will do it on that pretense.
But please note that in the minutes.
No, I voted yes. If somebody comes and bitches because I voted for
All right.
that stuff, then I'll take care of it myself.
Next, radios.
They can do it.
After the previous meeting, we went back and researched high and low to find another vendor that would be appropriate, that obviously would be less money. Kim Weber took point on that, and I will have him detail the option that we emailed out to you, that is option 2, specific to the radios. You guys have the,
Yeah, I looked at it.
You emailed it to us. It's not on the agenda. Let me find it again. I looked at it.
So I got a question before you go into a lot of detail. I mean, is this what you want, and is this? I mean, I realize that this radio system does a little bit more than maybe what Motorola does. It's a little bit less, but it comes down to personal preference, what's more compatible with the sheriff and different things. So, I mean, it's $11,000 difference,
Yes.
and that's a lot of money.
Yes.
But I mean, we need to make sure that we're getting the right thing, because at the end of the day, we're still spending $100,000 plus.
yes. And I'll let Kevin go
Okay.
through in detail, but that was Kevin's charge, to find something that is compatible. He has a far better working knowledge and a little expertise than I do with that. I'll let him detail that, but this option that we're presenting, if it did not meet what we thought we need, we would not have presented it. And I say that respectfully.
Right. Local provider.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, the nerd herd hashed through it, and we're very comfortable with it. Put it that way.
Okay.
It will do everything we need it to do.
I didn't want to say that.
It will actually do more than what the previous vendor proposed. It actually comes in a lot less. I feel it's a lot more modern product than the other one. And it will do everything as far as P25, most wind radios, phone, extensions.
It's narrowband digital.
So all we're doing is control station. We already have the radios in place, so it's just controlling those. Yes, absolutely will. The state radio that we have now, the most wind radio, it will.
So it does 700 megahertz, does everything. Durability.
Yeah, and like I say, what I have been presented with and what I talked to the nerd herd with, I support it. I have no objection.
What is it?
All right. It looked.
Avtech Scout. It's what Morgan County 911 and Miller County 911 put in their PSAPs.
I mean, I appreciate you guys digging in and finding another option. Seems like it's a better option. It's a less expensive option.
And we beat the bushes. I mean, they're,
Is this state contract or?
So there's two. It's separated out. The consoles themselves are GSA. The recorder is HGAC, which is a cooperative purchasing Houston Galveston
area council.
But they're both state contracts, our government contracts. The company doing it is actually the owners of Centertown, so it's actually a local vendor, and it's actually a well-known product, so it's not like it's a one product and only he can do it. He actually has a company that runs, and
Okay.
he does stuff all over the state, from Joplin to Mercy Hospital to, like I said, Morgan and Miller. So he's,
So you've contacted people that are using it and they're happy with it, no
Actually,
problems.
One of our dispatchers go to Morgan County, and she played around with it in market.
And this is soup to nuts.
Okay.
So that was going to be my next question. It ain't coming back, is it? You're not going to come back in December and say, "Oh God, we forgot, we didn't get this."
No, we walked
I'm just
through-
getting on the record here, you know.
I understand.
Mike's seen this enough times to know where this goes.
We've been very diligent with that, and this is everything from moving dispatch from where it is now to where it's going to be. The radios, the interface, all that, the phones.
All right, I'm good with it. Jeff,
Yeah,
Yep.
entertain a
guys.
motion to approve the recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Kevin, again, thanks for digging into that. Mike, thanks for your patience with us and digging in on this
Oh,
stuff.
completely understood, and like I say, Kevin and Gerber, they make things happen, and
I love the nerd herd thing, by the
Hey.
way, just for the record.
Any quick, and is it going to be any quicker getting this stuff in, or
I could call them right now with the ball rolling, but it's
still 4 to 6 weeks or longer? Or?
We're probably 4 weeks out.
even,
Best case on the construction being completed, right?
correct.
So 4 to 6 probably matches up with when we transition anyway.
I don't have an exact estimate of the time yet. As soon as the ball rolls.
Do you have contracts?
The only thing I have is bids.
Okay.
Next time you do this, make sure you put the money saving thing on the agenda first.
Yeah.
Then you can say, "Hey, we saved you money. Now we want some rocker recliners."
Look at that, Mike. All right. Next
Thank you,
item on the
guys.
agenda is request to surplus funds from delinquent tax sale. Larry?
This is a request from our delinquent tax sale last year. We sold a piece of property out by Eugene that had a surplus amount of $7,367.51. This is a request from Fred Nichols, who owned the property and has no desire to redeem it, so he's requesting the surplus funds. I've got attaches his letter of request, a notarized copy of the page of his passport that shows who he is, and
I just
copy
signed that.
of the title search that we had.
Yeah, we all got
tax sale.
Sorry.
Oh, well, throw this away and send me the signed copy.
The commission has
Sign
to
mine.
approve this request.
Throw that one away.
in order for the treasurer
Throw that one
to release
away.
the funds back to Fred Nichols.
That's what you're recommending, right?
That's what I'm recommending.
So moved.
All right. A motion to
Second.
follow the recommendation. Do you have the order with you? Do we need to sign something, or
Know that
Debbie?
they're-
Debbie?
Sure. Yeah, you can have the original.
You don't think we don't have to follow an order or anything?
I don't know, it just says you all have to, that he has to provide proof to the commission.
All right. I got the motion. Second. Call roll, please, Betty.
Chris?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Our roll call vote. The motion's approved. That should solve it. If you need an order or something, since we've roll call voted it, we can provide that at a later date. I don't know if he'll need it for property records or something. Okay. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, court administrator to discuss current court services budget. John?
The long and short of it is I got too many jury trials this year. I'm zipping through the budget, and with the next jury payments, grand jury and regular jury, I'll be in the hole. That'll be mid next month. I've done more jury trials this year already than I did all of last year and in the year before that.
Okay.
So, worst case scenario,
John's Beadham told me that best case 10K, worst case 27K. I don't see either of those numbers.
I've got a fifth judge that I put in last night. He's got 3 trials scheduled, and if his go, that'd be another $5 grand.
Can I give you guys some information?
Sure.
Absolutely. More information's always better.
If I ask my kids, put it right in front of my face.
I noticed the same issue when putting the budget out, so I kind of went back a couple years and broke down some of the costs that are in that line item.
Projected. 67
Oh my gosh.
compared to 33.
We're almost double what we're gonna be.
Well, I told you guys at budget meeting I'd probably be back. I didn't think I was gonna
We
be
just
back.
like to
Oh,
see you,
budget.
John.
Well, last
Didn't
year,
think I was gonna be here.
hang on. Last year, how much? So we spent last year 73,000. Is that correct? I'm asking Kristen.
No, it's the 70,000. The 73 is accrual basis, so that.
Okay, so 70 and a half is basically what we spent last year.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we put in 50 this year.
Yes. And they're already at the 4739.
If you remember, last year was a very unusual year. You can see that broke out in there. That one case was
Oh.
over 15,000 in just hotels.
Mhm.
And then there was another 5,000 for the transfer to another county, I believe that was on.
Yeah,
there.
but I'm only looking. It seems to me that, and Kristen, tell me too. I mean, it looks to me like the big delta today is the jurors.
Yes.
I mean, it's the one cost that you can't even argue with. I mean, we have to pay them, we have to panel them, we don't get choice.
Yes.
Well, it's like a snowstorm. You can't predict it. I didn't predict this many.
Excuse me.
You know, I expected some larger cases to come through. They didn't come through, thankfully. They fell off the docket, but I didn't predict 20 cases already. I predicted maybe 20 cases for the year. But it looks like, you know, with every 4 that'll be on the docket, we'll get 1. So we're looking at another 15 cases, worst case scenario, I think.
Worst case, 37 days.
Well, yeah.
That's what you're saying.
We get 37 days with Schulmeyer's got 3 cases that are about 9 days. It cost about $1,300 to put a panel together to come in. So that's about $5,000
All right.
for his cases.
So, what do you want done?
Requesting 32.
Debbie?
I don't know, is there a count of how many cases we have this year versus the last few years?
I don't think it sounds out of line. If that's what you're projecting, you got an idea what's coming on. Kristen's even got, I mean, if you go to the,
And mine's just double. That's the
Yeah.
first 6 months,
I'm-
and I've just doubled it.
Yeah.
And,
it's
and he's
more
not
than-
projecting double, but he's projecting, because we're actually, we've got 41 days we've done, and he's projecting up to 37 more.
but those all are what they are. If you don't pay the jurors, and we don't have that many for, if they fall off for whatever reason, it's just money not spent. So if we put it
Yeah.
in there, it's not like you're gonna be able to take it and move it somewhere else.
I'm not going to MPA.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I think we have to do it. We have to provide the funds for the jurors.
Well, it's either that or
And-
we address it every month and we keep going back, and I'd just soon put this in there.
Jurors are 84%.
Just don't transfer any money out to a different account from this one. This is all for this.
We're going to put you on double secret probation and watch all your expenditures now.
We have that?
Shh. That's why it's called double secret probation.
Oh.
On the
You okay with it?
opposite side
Yeah.
of that, I would think we'd be seeing more revenue coming back for reimbursement, so.
Yep.
From what?
The state.
That is a good thing. We're up over 7,400 coming back to the county,
No,
which is,
2,400.
well, 2,400 over budget coming back. We get $6 a juror back from the state.
On criminal cases,
Yeah.
not on civils.
Now it's
That's the big difference. All right. I'm okay with it. I think we're all okay with it. You're going to prepare a transfer form,
And how much was in that?
32.
32. I mean, those are hard to project, and there is no sense putting.
Okay.
Yeah, I went over to urgent care.
What'd they say?
Gave me a shot. Prescription for Keflex.
At least they gave you a shot. They told me quit being a pansy. Go home.
Before we leave this issue, I just want clarification on the trolleys and
What?
that.
That was a one-time deal, is my understanding, on the trolleys.
Okay.
That was
I
for
had
the.
another bill in here, so I want clarification too.
What are we trolleying for?
from lot 24.
Can't walk?
jurors are over 55 years old. That is all it is. That's why we had a problem for all last year until you guys.
Don't we have a sheriff's van or something? We could pile them in and bring them up here. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. Why can't we put them in a van and give them a ride up here?
Like city bus, sit down there and think about that. I don't know if we've ever.
Well, I don't know if
Juvenile
city bus
has
is gonna be any cheaper
Juvenile
than
has
the
a
trolley.
van.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be other options.
I would like to look at other options
I
than the
agree.
trolley.
I don't want to see another trolley bill.
That was the one before. We only got one handicap parking spot up here, so.
Two.
I'll give you
Two.
where.
One here and one there.
That's true.
And three, actually, if you count the one on the corner.
Yeah.
Right out in front of the courthouse. But still, in the end, I recognize that with old and infirm people, they need to be transported up from that lot. It's the problem with Jeff City. We have uphill and downhill,
Yeah.
and we're uphill.
It's a wellness program.
Okay.
If you make it to court, you can sit on the jury.
It's a test, it's a pre-test.
I can't work with this.
Okay. So you prepare the transfer and send it up, and we'll move it forward. Next item on the agenda. Oh, look at this. Discussion of EMS budget transfer.
There is an updated one.
That was, I think it was set on your desk, sorry.
Yeah, we already signed it.
Well, okay then.
Well, we had questions about it.
Okay, what's the question? Mike, what's the
We went
question?
through each one, and I visited with Mike a little bit the other day when he was over there looking at the new building.
Can I not open this?
Bank service charge, we pretty much said that we understand those. Building supplies, that was the first one. Go ahead, Mike.
With the increase in our activity over there, and looking through the past history, between now and the end of the year, we're gonna be short. So we did amend the original down to 1,500. I think initially it was 3,000, so we dropped that down. 1,500 will get us to the end of the year with that.
Meeting and,
Say again, sir?
what's that other one? Meeting
It's medical service. Yeah, it's medical services. It's specific to our biohazard pickup.
oh, it's not meetings?
No,
Sorry.
no, forgive me for
Okay.
that typo. It's medical services.
And those, that depends on what
It
kind of year we're having there. too.
Yeah, it'll ebb and flow with activity. It's biohazard.
Okay,
stars.
well, that's different. It said meetings and,
No, forgive me for that
Something.
typo there.
and then tires, you said we had bought a whole bunch of tires at the end of the year last year that we didn't get billed for until this year, so it's
Correct.
running us over
Correct, sir.
this year, so we ran under last year,
Yes.
so. That's just what we had questions on, or I did. I just like picking on EMS.
That's fine. That's no problem.
Y'all are fun to pick on.
Yes.
Well, it's signed now, so if y'all didn't have any questions, we can move on.
I do have one more other item within that transfer. We have office equipment, a line item within 660, which is the enterprise fund. But most of our capital improvements, our capital items have been bought out of 650, which is the sales tax fund. Mike is in need of a new laptop that wasn't planned on. One went down. He needs to have it replaced. It's the trainer's laptop. So I need to know if you want to transfer within the operating fund, the enterprise fund, or if you will allow him to purchase that out of the capital. Usually at the beginning of the year, we have a long list of what capital he needs for that year. Obviously, this wasn't in there.
Capital fund out of the EMS.
Yes.
650.
Yeah, 650, which is EMS sales tax.
So does Dale keep track of your all's computers, or y'all got your nerd herd to do that?
That was Dale. Yeah, some is both, but this
Okay.
one specifically is Dale, and this laptop literally died. Dale tried to revive it with our help, but no luck, so it is off into the graveyard of technology.
What's it gonna do if we take it out of the capital fund versus the operating fund? I mean,
It's all EMS fund.
It's
Yeah,
all EMS money.
we just direction on,
I would prefer to take it out of the capital side, since we've historically done it that way.
Yeah. mean, we're talking about $500 or $600 for a laptop.
No, it's,
Be about 1,200 probably.
yes. Yeah.
It's a
It's a
tough
circa
book or
2010.
it's a tough book.
No, it's
Just a regular laptop.
Yeah, it's a state bid computer
I mean, it's like these.
plus a docking station.
I got one like this too at home. It cost me about $500.
Okay, well,
I'm not
it
government.
costs $8,000 because we get everything on it. We have to buy the licenses for it and everything.
Office and so on.
It is
But
what it
don't
is.
we have the one on the computer that you had before that should be able to transfer that license right over to it?
According, and Dale's not here, it's a new piece of equipment, so the license will not transfer.
Oh, so they know
Yeah.
they can gig us.
Oh yeah, Microsoft loves to get you, man.
I transfer everything over from my old computer.
There's a reason I watched.
I'm like opposite.
There's a
Randy.
reason I watched on 60 Minutes Sunday night that Bill Gates is willing to give away 95% of his net worth, because every time you get a new computer, he's getting another slug in that 5%.
I'm okay with Microsoft 97. We got to get the computer out.
All right.
Said we were rolling
Get it
along
done.
there.
Get it done. Take it out of cap.
Yeah.
Maintenance depart.
Here's my palm pilot.
Hello. Maintenance department employee restructuring. Greg. Table. Microphone.
Restrain from people.
So what do you want that to say? You want to try to rewrite it?
I didn't write this.
Oh, that's Jess. Oh. So what do you want that to say? You want to try to rewrite that? Go ahead, Greg.
After talking with Jeff a little bit and Chris a little bit, we were looking at structuring, maybe making a supervisor, maybe making some janitorial instead of maintenance ones. Talking about salaries for different positions. Still trying to fill one position. I have an individual that's retaking their test on Monday to see if they can get above a certain percentage. Going from there. My guys are working. I have not haven't done time sheets for this month yet. I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of comp time for them guys as the hours I've been working also. Just needing some guidance and some where we'd like to go from here.
One of the things that I talked to Greg about, and I don't know if we can do this, but would be to maybe try to work in pairs versus individuals, and so maybe take some of his current guys and make them more a supervisor, and maybe try to get some guys on work release or some prison help to help with cleaning, and they could directly supervise that person, and then they might be able to get more done throughout the day. I mean, it was just a thought, but I don't know that we can do that in all our buildings, or maybe we want to.
I don't think we can do prisoners in the courthouse, the jail, juvenile, or health, because those 4 buildings, 3 of them have direct law enforcement functions, and the 4th has drugs.
Well, what about community service? You still using some of them kids?
I mean, you can get. I mean, the advantage of community service, folks, is to do the outside. I mean, your guys should never mow a lawn, because that's the perfect thing for
I don't
community
know if
service.
community service can operate a lawnmower or any kind of equipment. They probably can't even get on a stepladder.
Yeah, that's a touchy situation.
Yeah.
You
They
gotta
got to
be
do.
kidding me. A mower?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a mower's not just a push mower anymore
We kind
either.
of talked about it too.
Out here it is.
Well,
We got differences between a janitor and maintenance. If we got somebody that's
So what
able
is
to
the
do
what's the
maintenance.
recommendation? I still don't hear what the final recommendation is.
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't. That's why I'm.
We can go back historically. All of them have been maintenance workers.
Right.
Besides the supervisor. We looked into hiring that custodial outside source that we talked
Right.
about before. They do not want it for 1 month.
Yeah, of
They're
course
not gonna
not.
take that on. We can go back.
but
and-
they'll do it long term.
Yes.
Yes. They're just not gonna hire
I'm not
somebody
opposed
for-
to that. I thought that price was very reasonable.
well, what if we were to go out and bid just custodial services, just cleaning?
Yes.
I mean, how many buildings can we do? Can we do the sheriff,
I
the jail?
have to check with them, because we're talking about we'd have to have.
The jail's
them
probably
checked
the
and
jail's
certified.
probably the one we can't contract out because those contract services have turnover,
Mm-hmm.
and every time they get a new employee, they're going to have to go through a security check. All the other buildings don't have.
I don't know if I do that, you know.
Well, the detention side of juvenile certainly.
And they intermingle when they,
Yeah.
so, and then you've got the health department with potentially drugs out there, so, so you have I would, I was thinking more or less one or so buildings and try it out, see if it worked.
Which one? Courthouse?
I was actually thinking health, because I didn't think they kept that many drugs out there.
The STD drugs are locked up, and then the vaccines are, in the refrigerators. Our main concern would be HIPAA, but if they signed a confidentiality.
You see, every time you turn somebody over, you're going to have to get another. Probably the courthouse and the annex are the best two places to have if you're going to try it out. We have the least secure stuff in the courthouse.
I mean,
Public Works would be the ideal place, but they kind of take care of their own stuff, don't they?
We do it twice a week.
Oh, do you?
We're at the point now where we're only one short,
Mhm.
and potentially that will be filled. We do have a closed session coming up, so there's a question there that potentially could be answered, whether it's filled or not filled at this point.
I think the problem is though, we may have 2 positions open next week. They may stay for
Exactly.
the next 6 months and no turnover. But we gotta look at why we're having so much turnover.
I
I
think
mean, it's a stepping stone for a lot of people, or they just don't wanna work because they can sit at home and make more money.
I think the last time we talked, I believe it's the starting wage for a lot of them. We talked about that, we talked about increasing that and coming up to where even the city, the state of Missouri, even if you didn't go that far, we're going half, it'd still be cheaper than hiring a cleaning service. If we can get the minimum wage, or the wage that we're starting that up, so.
Let's look at doing that at budget time.
I guess I'm having a hard time with what do we start them at $9.80 an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of businesses in town that hire at lower rate than that, and they don't have any problem hiring people. I recognize that people can move to another job, but does the state having that much turnover that every week there's another opening?
They're starting at $12.29.
I understand that, but does that mean, okay, if the state's full and they have no vacancies, $12.29 is irrelevant, isn't it? Because there's nowhere to go. My question is, are they losing people so fast at the state that every day we're going to lose people because...
If you go on OA's site, they've got job openings for maintenance 1, maintenance 2 workers right now.
Okay.
Their roster is open right now until end of August, I think, for job openings.
So, again,
Let's take a look at the scale and see where we need to get them. I mean, and Greg, maybe you can have some input on this too, as to where you think that bottom number needs to be. Of course, that bottom number is going to affect all your employees too, because you're going to have to bump them as well. So,
Chris, the state, those are maintenance people. They do janitorial by hiring out. So the people they have as maintenance are
Yeah.
doing,
Maintenance.
changing light bulbs and all that. They're not vacuuming the floor.
right.
I think that's right. They do
They
contract.
have custodial staff.
They contract out their. They used to contract it. They used to not even have staff. They used to all be contracted.
They have custodial now, and they're hiring staff.
Well,
How what do they
sometime
pay custodial?
What's custodial 2 in there?
That's what I said. You need to have jar up a work chart, employee chart.
well, I kinda
Have your
did-
difference between a maintenance and a janitorial. Janitorial specifically does janitorial stuff. They're going to be paid accordingly. If you're going to be maintenance and you can fix some plumbing or HVAC, and you're actually going to save us money from having to call it in, then
If you look over the last 2.5 years, we are doing more in-house. We are doing quite a bit more in-house. We're not calling in vendors to fix or change a ballast or change a plug or change filters or whatever it may be. We're doing quite a bit of it in-house.
well, draw that up on paper and show where we were 2 years ago, where we are now, and how much is being saved, and whether we need to hire another person, a specific maintenance person, make your recommendation and bring it to the table. I know we threw this on the agenda to talk about it because we're having troubles filling the position. But like Mark said, if there's 2 positions open at the state, you know, everybody's going to apply for it. It's not just our guys.
The custodial at the state, it ranges from $10.12 to $13.09.
So we're not out of line then.
Well, when you're
10,
starting
12,
at
and 980 aren't that far
9.80.
apart. I mean, we're in the
Some people
ballpark.
that-
It's not like we're multiple
You got great
deviations
bosses.
out.
Where are most of the people falling through the cracks? They just don't want to take the pay, or they're failing the drug
Most
test,
of-
or
Most of, we've had a couple who failed the drug test, a couple failed the PCP. We've had several that are currently working elsewhere but are looking to get closer back home, not travel. We have had a few that won't take the job because of the pay. It's all over.
Some of them are on the welfare roll and they don't want to get off the welfare roll. I assume you reported those?
Yes, sir, I have.
What'd they say?
They
Anything?
said they're looking to.
All you can do.
I can send you that spreadsheet and that custodial.
I mean, what
too.
do we have Greg do? I mean, is this new person hired for sure? Has they passed all the stuff, or?
One person is hired that passed all the stuff. He started a week ago. He's been over at the health department cleaning it.
Okay, and you've got one more that maybe.
One more maybe, which we'll talk about in closed session.
Okay.
I mean, we can't wait 4 months to get Greg more help when we start with budget discussions and get it approved. So we got to give him some direction on what to do in the short term, whether that's temporary services or whatever to take care of the buildings. So I mean, my recommendation was just to find somebody from CNS, and I realize that costs a lot of money, but I mean, it's you call them up and they send somebody out and you got them for a month or a week or 2 months or whatever. But
I don't know if it costs a lot of money in the long run. What are we paying them per hour?
What do we pay them?
For maintenance, well, for janitorial, specifically janitorial.
They're at least $3 to $4 higher. The employee may get 10, we pay them 13 or 14. I'm not sure exactly how.
If we're paying them $13 an hour, we're not having to have the insurance or the other benefits and stuff. We're saving money in the long run. But we're
I mean,
gonna lose that person after what, 3 months?
A $9.80 an hour position is really more like about a $12 an hour position if they're full time. Almost $13 an hour. So, I mean, it's probably a wash. The problem is if it gets to be over enough dollars, we got to bid it.
But what Chris is saying is get somebody that's temporary.
Right.
And do it now.
But so here's the issue: if we do the temporary, and they won't take 1 month, and I don't know where the cut is. But
No, the
let's
temps didn't say they wouldn't do a month.
No,
The
it's
janitorial
every
service said
oh,
they
the
didn't want to do.
janitorial service
yeah.
wouldn't do a month.
No,
Yeah.
we can get them for any amount of days we want.
It's just that
See?
bid number.
so when we get to a certain amount,
We have to stop them,
Yes.
and we've got to bid. Now, what we could do is bring them on a temporary basis while we go out to bid.
so we could bid for temporary services.
Or we could bid for janitorial services.
So,
Either way, I mean-
right? I mean, surely you're not going to get to that $4,500 very
I
quick.
think not.
So
We looked at it. I don't remember how much it was.
Yeah, we're close to, I think it's more than 30 days. It's probably closer to 6 weeks to 8 weeks before we get there for this type of position.
Per position.
Right.
How many people are you going to bring over?
I was
Just
talking
one?
For now, we're only one short right now, unless Greg's going to want to fight me for more for a month or something.
No. They can get one.
$13 an hour times 40 hours.
What do we have, 45 days?
It's $520.
90 days?
4,500.
So
When's the last time we had them hired out there helping
Maybe.
move files?
All right, let's do CNS for a month or two. Pick one person, do CNS for a month. or two, no more. Let them know that when we hit the 4,500, we have to stop. But in the process, let's put together a bid for temporary services.
We need to see when we spent that out there from them already for moving files.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. If it was in 90 days though, and it's a rolling 90 days, so the 90
Is that from
drops
when
is.
they billed us or from when they worked?
Check date is what we've determined is when the warrant, we consider the warrant to check. So, it's hard to keep track of.
And maybe we could, Jennifer, just go ahead and put the bid out and just short time frame just on temporary services. I don't know how long that has to be posted, but.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, it may change too.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get this person hired, I mean, that's fine, but
And are we just
at least
worried
it,
about custodial?
at least it's a backup. If you get somebody that quits,
For
go
now,
out,
yes.
get somebody and.
And it's
keep going.
only for custodial purposes for the time being,
Yes, sir.
not for maintenance.
Correct.
All right.
We need somebody, I hate to say, to push mops.
Yes.
All righty.
Okay. Cole County Health Department office visit fees. Did you bring snacks? Where are my snacks? You said you would bring snacks.
You said only if they were healthy, I couldn't think of anything.
What?
Jeez. This is the health department
I thought you were in
director
charge of a
speaking here.
wellness
Listen
program.
to this.
Bagels are not healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd have to go get fruit, carrot sticks. I could have brought you some carrot sticks. Okay, so, historically, we didn't charge everyone an office visit fee when they came in. That we would charge them for the service they were getting, but we didn't charge them an office visit because we were trying to make it, cost effective for everyone. Well, now, per Medicaid or Medicare guidelines, we have to charge them the office fee in addition to the fee for the service they're getting. We can adjust the office fee based on their proof of income or their inability to pay. We can waive it down to 0, but we at least have to assess the fee on their bill. So we're charging everyone the same amount. Does that make sense?
Well, you're billing them the same amount, but you're not going to charge them the same amount.
If they can't pay, because we can't turn any away.
How are you going to determine whether they can or can't pay?
They bring their proof of income.
We have a sliding fee scale, so that's used for most of our clinic services anyway for uninsured clients.
How do they provide proof of income?
Usually paychecks, this type of thing.
So if they say they don't have a paycheck because they don't work,
Then we then ask for W-2s if they've got any from the previous year.
Okay.
If they do not, at that point, it's just on a individual basis. Again, we can't turn them away, so if they're really claiming that they can't pay,
I mean, it just.
And we do our best.
it's a very.
I understand, but I mean, once somebody realizes that if you show them that you don't have any money and they're going to waive the fees, and everybody's going to learn that, and I mean, so this is all just generating more paperwork.
Well, it's not generating more paperwork. With our EMR, it's all paperless anyway. Basically, what it does is if we are to get audited by Medicare or
Mhm.
Medicaid, it's on the books.
Okay.
That way it's consistent from client to client, regardless of insured or uninsured. They're all being initially charged the same. Because what Medicaid does is, for an office visit, I can bill $20 to Medicaid. Their reimbursement rate per individual
Pictures.
or child or adult ranges.
Okay.
So what we're doing with the $20 is trying to get it as close to the reimbursement rate. So we initially, a self-pay patient will be paying the same as a Medicaid would.
So are we now having to process insurance claims if somebody comes in and has insurance and?
We don't bill private insurance. We use VaxCare system. They bill the private insurance for vaccines, but for other services, we do not bill private insurance because most insurance companies will not contract with local public health agencies.
And if they do, yes, if they do.
But you were just talking about Medicare. So will we bill Medicare or
I bill Medicaid.
Medicaid?
Medicaid.
Okay.
VaxCare also bills Medicare.
So we're taking Medicare or Medicaid, but we won't take private insurance.
No, we accept it. We just don't do the billing in-house. VaxCare.
So they got to pay for it and then get reimbursed.
VaxCare does it. That
They give
for
us their insurance card just like they would at the doctor's office. We're just sending it to a third party to do it.
Okay.
Kind of like EMS does ISO.
You have TPA that handles the billing for private insurance.
Is this something that we have to do?
The only reservation I have about it is, like you shared with the clients, there's gonna be a lot of flack, or there's gonna be a lot of, well, I can't pay that, I don't wanna pay that. That's where the sliding scale comes into effect. We can't offer that discounted price, and if they absolutely cannot pay, we can waive that fee.
Is Medicare not gonna pay the other part of it if you don't charge them the initial fees?
Medicare's gonna pay based on their reimbursement rates, but we have, if Medicare would come in, or Medicaid would come in and audit us, we have to show that we're initially charging everyone the same. We're not treating those Medicaid patients differently because they do pay.
So right now what's occurring is it looks like we're we're charging Medicaid clients more than self-pay, and that's not compliant with their guidelines, so we don't wanna get in trouble for that.
Seems like it's we're almost like we're running a clinic or a doctor's office instead of a public health. I mean, this is more of a service to the community, and now it's.
And that's why we would never do
And then one of my other concerns is that if I come in today and you charge me all these fees and I show you proof of income, well, I don't have the money. I can't pay you today. Now, are we going to become a collection agency, or how are we going to collect it? So if I can't pay today, we charge you these fees, but we just don't collect it. It's just a bad debt.
Or they would say that they can't pay and we would waive the fee.
So even though my proof of income is hypothetically $70,000 a year, I don't have the money on me. I don't have a credit card. I don't have anything to pay you today.
At that point, we would first recommend that they come back and
So we're going to refuse service, or?
Well, I guess technically it's refusing, but we're offering, to come. A perfect example is going to be the pregnancy test. That's a very large quantity of people come in to get those. And currently we charge $7 for self-pay, but I charge Medicaid $10 because they reimburse $9.50 for a pregnancy test. So in order to become compliant, we would have to bump that fee up for the pregnancy test to 10 and add that 20. So they're going from $7 to 30. So we're gonna have a lot of flack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a solution for that, other than the sliding scale to offer a discounted fee.
I mean, you're basically saying that you have to charge these fees to be compliant.
Initially, and then we
Right.
waive them.
Stupid.
It really is. It's very complicated to try to navigate through and make sure everybody's getting treated fairly and we're serving everybody, and it's just very hard,
But if I can afford it and I come in to get the pregnancy test, you're gonna charge me $7?
currently we would, yes.
Everybody gets charged $7 currently. I wouldn't be charged an office visit even though I can afford it.
Not currently, we don't charge that, it's just the 7 for the service.
But going forward,
No, I'm just talking about how it is now.
Yeah.
Cause I'm trying to understand why the change has to be there. If they say it's gotta be there, that is what it is. I'm just trying to figure out.
And I clarified with Missouri Health Net, which is in the email that, I'm not sure, Chrissy shared that one with you or not. They don't they don't dictate our billing policies, but they clearly state that across the board, everything needs to be on the same cost.
So if you go to the doctor, what's the pregnancy test gonna cost you?
Probably your copay, which is about $30.
Okay, say you don't have health insurance, but you're gonna go to the doctor to get one that's gonna be a hell of a lot more.
Office rate would be, or whatever office visit would cost.
So, and if you don't have money to pay it, they're gonna bill you. So, well, they can turn you away, obviously, but.
That's I guess where our difficulty comes in is, we're not able to do that. And we don't
I
want
mean, if
to.
we gotta do it, we gotta do it. I'm trying to grasp the reason for having to do it. I think that's kind of where you were at too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like you're gonna turn people away or turn people off of public health, and so less people are gonna come.
Right, you're absolutely right, and we definitely don't want to do that. It seems like the loser of this situation seems to be the.
We're gonna bill you for it. We can't collect it, but we gotta bill you for it, so. And maybe we are able to collect it from the ones that can't afford it and that are just trying to get their freebies and, living off the system, so. It could put more money back into the system.
The one thing about that, we do currently just charge the $7, but it's about a 45-minute visit because the clients that come in to get pregnancy tests for us, they're also checking to see if they're eligible for Medicaid. We do that as well. So that's included in that visit. So they're seeing the nurse, they're having the test done, they're having counseling, and they're also going for the eligibility screen. So, it is a visit. It is time and staff, but it is still public health, and that's the kicker.
Well, you're charging it and you're gonna look into it. If they can't afford it, then it's a sliding scale and you deal with it from there. And so, I'm fine with it.
I have a little bit of problem that we're seeing if people are eligible for Medicaid and signing them up. I struggle with us having that responsibility, and I realize these people are probably less fortunate and whatnot, but are we really putting more people on the Medicaid system, when they really should be trying to better themselves?
It's just the women that come in and have positive pregnancy tests, because prenatal care is so important at that time. So we get them on temp Medicaid, and it's only 30 days? 2 months. 2 months from the day they
So
get
it's just
signed up.
temporary?
And it's temporary to get them time to get some prenatal care and apply for regular
Okay.
Medicaid. That's the only people we help with temp Medicaid.
I see. Okay.
Drug test them too while they're
I totally agree.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
With all due respect, I can say what I want to. Bless their hearts.
You usually do.
Not saying I don't get in trouble for it, but.
We want to provide services to everyone we can.
Is this
I
thing on?
understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you need? Just approval of the fees?
Well, this was just kind of just FYI, to make sure you're.
So in other words, you need
realizing-
approval of the fees.
Sure.
Because I don't think you can impose them if we don't approve them.
And Heather brought you a new schedule. She changed the format totally to make it a lot more user friendly.
And I think most of these we already had agreed to.
Right.
So, all right.
It's just adding that office visit.
Okay. I entertain a motion to approve the fee schedule.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
You would have brought snacks, we wouldn't have had so many questions.
Yeah, we'd have been eating.
Okay.
Any questions? No.
We're passing that to the next.
Right,
meeting.
dental clinic at Cole County Health Department.
Okay, so as we had previously discussed, the Community Health Center, Central Missouri, received a grant from Missouri Foundation for Health, and they're going to be bringing a dentist to several health departments in the central region. We're going to be on Mondays from 9:30 to 1:30. They're going to offer full service dental for mostly kids. I think the only thing they're not going to do is like root canals and things that need nitrous or sedation, but they're going to do cleanings, lab exams, extractions, x-rays, all that right there at the health department. They came by yesterday. We got to meet the dentist, Dr. Bethany, and we looked at space, where we're going to put them, and we're dealing with that. But today I have for you the 2 agreements that discuss the payment that we will receive for having that service at our health department. And during the personnel closed session, I would just like to discuss the $10,000 that they're giving us for personnel.
Okay.
But these are the 2 agreements. There's a portable dental operating agreement, and then the business associate agreement that I emailed to you.
Jill, you've looked at them, so they're okay, right? You guys have any issues?
No.
Entertain a motion to approve portable dental operating agreement with Community Health Center.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, call roll. Yes.
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 By roll call vote, it's approved. I'd entertain a motion to approve the business associate agreement with Community Health Center.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, call roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. By roll call vote, those are approved.
I'm pretty excited about that.
All right. Discussion of art project. I sent you guys some emails this morning because the thumb drive came in a format we could not open on our computers.
Yeah, I tried to open that.
You know how to open EPS files? I do not. But anyway, I showed you their thought is to hang these panels off the side of the big blank side of the jail overlooking McCarty Street.
I mean, they're nice looking murals. I think they look good. What's our policy about hanging stuff on?
We don't have a
our
policy.
buildings?
That's why.
We get to do it case by case.
Yeah, and this is from the Jefferson City Arts Commission, Council Commission.
How are they going to be hung on there? We're going to have to.
They would take responsibility for hanging them.
But are we going to
But
allow
that's why
them
we need to. We need to say, is it okay to do that? Somebody will have to get on the roof to actually install the hangings. We have to approve all that kind of
They're
stuff.
going to be way up on the roof then and hanging over.
Mhm.
Is it feasible? Have you looked at what they proposed, Greg?
This is the first I've heard of it. There's really no way to attach anything up there because it's a rubber membrane roof coming up to a metal cap.
I assume they probably attach a couple of screws, a rope, let it hang over, and have a bottom weighted or something. I don't know.
Potential water leak.
Can you have them talk with Greg and see if
All right.
it's going to be
Well,
feasible?
the first question is the reason that, and before we even get to that point, is if it's feasible, are we okay with it? Because if we're not okay with it, who cares if it's feasible or not?
I was going to put that.
So is this going to be like
It takes it off our plate then. So
Well, I mean, you know,
It's going to be like a sheet, that,
Yeah, it's like a sheet
a
that
billboard
hangs down.
type thing or something.
it's not affixed to the side of the building; it hangs.
I mean, if they attached a stainless steel anchor into the masonry or something, and
No, it's rubber roof that comes back up over and then the metal.
I mean, they're going to want to hang these on the side though.
I don't know how they're.
So this is my question would be: are you guys okay with if it's feasible without damaging the rubber roof? Are we okay with it?
I want to know how they're going to attach it first, but
Yeah.
I was kind of wanting to put it.
I mean, I'm just looking at one of them here, but I mean, I think
they look great.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be all right.
All right, so what I'm going to tell Lucia is to get in touch with Greg, or whoever her person is, to get in touch with you to look at how this would be done.
See how
That we're okay with the concept of hanging them at the request of the Arts Commission, but we need to see if it's feasible or not. If it's not feasible, it's in irrelevancy. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was easy.
I mean, they're nice looking.
I think it'll look
Paint, I
great.
mean, that's-
But I agree. I don't want to damage the roof. Okay.
We're doing it for the city too, give them a better view. It's more picturesque when they're in
It's either that or
whatever.
Guns and Roses every night, all morning. Welcome to the jungle.
I don't listen to Led Zeppelin, but when I do, so do my neighbors.
I might be opening that door up.
That one I've never heard before. I got to remember that one. All right. Next item on the agenda is Lafayette Enhancement Project Agreement. This is the contract between Jefferson City and us that agrees that they'll put in $500,000, we'll put in $1 million, put it in the fund. They approved it Monday night. We need to approve it also. So I entertain a motion to approve the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Call roll.
Mark?
Yes.
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 Roll call vote. That agreement's approved.
Did call the city, I have not heard back from them.
We anticipate that the MoDOT will be asking for the money sometime relatively soon. All right. Did we get everything on the agenda except for our closed sessions?
I would like to add.
Oh, accounts payable?
Yes.
I entertain a motion to approve accounts payable.
I got one in there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
All right.
I do have a couple things that's not on there. It's just informing you of something.
Shoot,
Okay.
quick.
Okay. The maintenance department, a few years ago, we went away with all cell phones, and we basically gave the people a stipend that was entitled to a stipend based on their job title. Maintenance department, the gentlemen that work that we need to get a hold of that are never in one place at one time, we've supplied them with a cell phone. They would now like to, they use their own personal cell phones. They're not using the county cell phones. I'd like to give the current maintenance people the stipend of $30. That would balance out to the bill that we're already paying. If if that's all right with you guys. We may have to do a transfer, basically take the money out of the cell phone and put it up into the salary, because it does attach to their salary. And that's okay with Greg, and that's okay with his staff. So I just wanted to let you know that's what we're planning. If you have any big problems with it.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Makes sense.
And there's one other thing that actually I just got a hold of the adjuster. You know, when we had the damage out at the EMS building with the 2 windows in back and the front. There was talk about maybe because it was under construction, we really wouldn't need to fix anything there. Maybe not even go to the insurance agent. The insurance agent called me yesterday, or I talked to him yesterday. He's talking about the metal that was on the front, just the front side of the building. So much of it was damaged to even if they put the 3 doors back in there, there would not be enough metal to fill in.
Okay.
Okay, so he has presented, I haven't seen it yet, but he's going to present an estimate to replace the whole metal front at a tune of about $10,800 as the adjuster. He also said because the metal inside is attached to the metal on the inside, that they would have to then take that off and re-put the new metal on the inside because they got new metal on the outside. That's going to cost another $4,000. He's estimating. He's not gotten an estimate for the roof. The roof, you know, we replaced the roof over there, and we want to make sure we don't get in any trouble with the warranty over there. So he hasn't got an estimate on that yet. So we're anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 already on this claim. Again, we have a $5,000 deductible. I just want to let you guys know that is the direction we're heading.
Good.
The one question that really needs to be answered is there was an issue about maybe putting rock so far up on the front and then tinning it. Since the guys are out there right now putting the concrete in front, if we do a rock ledge so far up, it would have to be an extra ledge put there.
Brick ledge.
Brick ledge. So what would you guys like? Obviously, I feel like we're going to go ahead with this claim. If the money that we get back from that claim, would you like to do the front of it and rock halfway up and then tin? And would that project have to be bid? I would assume it would. Or would we put that in Amoresco's?
I just need to add one item, and
Okay, go ahead.
from the metal standpoint, the way it attaches, there's hat channel that you actually secure it from the back side. It pulls it tight, so that from the front you see no bolts or anything like that.
Okay.
To replace the skin from the bay door, the little entrance door over, there's some places you are not going to be able to get to because of the file storage up top, the walls, the sheetrock, and everything else. So
I'm lost. File storage.
you know the file, the conference room, Bill's area,
Where Debbie has the file storage
where
now.
Debbie has the
Okay.
file storage up top and all that.
Okay.
To get to the screws on the inside.
Okay, you're talking about
wall,
replacing the tin on the whole front.
Yeah, you are not going to be able to get to some of that.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. So another idea was the brick so far up into the good metal, and the brick would take and cut out the old metal. So you'd have a brick facade with the good metal existing above it. Just FYI.
So that's over on the office part.
Yes.
So what's
There is brick now in the office part
Mhm.
up to a certain level. Take the brick on over.
what's the cost
The
to do that? I mean, for the brick, what's the cost for the brick?
I have no idea.
Don't-
You're probably looking at $10 a square foot or something like that.
How many square feet you think that costs?
300 or 400 maybe.
So you're talking.
I mean, we'd have to get an Amoresco that gets, but I mean, then you got to pick a brick, and is it going to match the brick that's on there? And then
It creates a whole other thing, because the metal is not made anymore.
So you do. You're talking call it $5,000, right?
Possibly,
To do that partially up.
possibly.
and then you'd have enough metal off of the bottom that you saved to finish out the part where that was damaged, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I asked him that specific question, and he really didn't think there'd be enough good metal to do that.
Bottom line, there's no easy way out of this.
All right. So here's my suggestion. We have a meeting next Tuesday. I think it's BOE, but we can do 5 minutes on this next Tuesday. ask Amoresco to get us a cost estimate to do the brick, or maybe it's a brick type of stone, and maybe instead of being the same, you contrast.
They were talking that thin veneer.
Yeah, like a
Not necessarily brick, but it's a
So
brick looking.
get an estimate.
Okay.
Okay. By then, hopefully, you'll have more information from the adjuster. We'll have the estimate. We'll actually have enough information we can make a decision. And can we do that like at 8:45?
Yeah, I'm okay with
Tuesday morning.
with doing all that. I mean, I still have a problem with going forward with the insurance claim, and so, I mean, they can't get the metal to match what's there.
They don't make that.
The metal is
They can't
not-
find it somewhere.
I would defer to the adjuster. Debbie and we are.
I mean, because we're not talking about that much metal. I mean, I've been by there. I mean, there was, 20 feet, the up and down. I mean, and so, I'm thinking, okay, well, if we could find something that matches, we could just have it painted.
We need to have the adjuster here to.
Well, but,
Yeah.
okay, we got a $5,000 deductible.
So no matter what we spend, if it costs $5,000,
We're paying it.
we're paying it.
And
Everything over $5,000,
and we filed a claim.
Everything over $5,000, we're not paying.
Right.
Correct.
So I mean, if it's $15,000 to fix it, it costs us $5,000. If it's $5,001 to fix it, it costs $5,000.
The metal aspect, we are just at the mercy of what the adjuster has stated, that they do not make the metal. Have we investigated that? I don't know if we have or not.
But they're gonna write a check. The adjuster's gonna write a check.
And it's on you.
It's kind
Right.
of like getting your car fixed. They write the check, and
He did mention the metal in the front actually doesn't match the metals on the side anymore anyway. So it's not like they're gonna try to match the front to the sides anymore.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I mean, here's my experience with the insurance company is, if I'm going to spend $5,000, I'm not even going to file a claim. I'm not even going to tell them it happened, because next year when we go to write insurance and this guy, $10,000 on the siding, $5,000 on the metal on the inside. Now he's going to do the roof. I mean, yeah, he's going to write this claim. It's going to be 30, 40 grand, and now our rates are going to go up next year.
And
When we could have fixed it for $5,000 if we just get a little bit of metal and we do it ourselves and we have Amoresco do it, and it's all done.
and that's my point, we don't have to follow through with this if you guys don't want to.
I mean, insurance is a necessary evil.
What is your direction? Would you rather us?
We gotta have prices on it. We can't do anything not knowing what it's gonna cost to fix it.
That's what I'm saying. Can we engage Amoresco and say, hey, how much to fix? I mean, would you
I'm
rather?
fine with
I'm
them
okay
not
with
coming
that.
to the
If we spend the $5,000 with them to fix it, and they can go find some metal that matches and paint it, have somebody paint it to match the rest.
And then all we have to worry about is the windows in the back.
bring it back next Tuesday when we have more information. We're kind of shooting off the hip pretty good right now.
Well, that's why I didn't understand why we couldn't just put metal up there. Maybe it doesn't match, but have it painted.
Mm-hmm.
And just paint it. We may have to repaint it every 5 or 10 years, but just take care of it ourselves. I don't think we need to spend $5,000 fixing that, because they're up there already doing that facade work.
Okay, we'll go from
Next
there.
Tuesday, can you set the agenda at 8:40? You think 15 minutes enough time to talk about it, or do you want a half hour?
Probably a half hour.
Just start
8:30.
Yeah, because Debbie will have something else we need to talk about, I'm sure.
You got anything else, Debbie?
Nope.
Okay.
Did you ever talk to Scotts Crane? Did you send him a reply of any sort? So we're not going to get in that between you
No,
and the
we
contractor?
had Public Works. Eric sent him an email.
Okay.
Saying we don't get involved in that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we replied to it because I got the email and I don't.
Well, and the email you got was after he got Eric's email. He did a mommy and daddy thing. He didn't like the answer he got from one side, so he thought he'd try to get an answer from the other.
Well, I'll tell him that's what we're doing. That's what Eric told him. That's why we handle it.
Okay. What else?
I had an email from somebody out in Sleepy Hollow. Where's that?
That's right off of Seven Hills Road.
Off V? Seven Hills? Okay. Well, they're complaining about their
9 Hills, I can
sewer rates. So who do they need to talk to?
Public Service Commission, or the City of Jefferson, one of the two. I don't know who's. I don't know
Yeah,
who's
that's the one who's gouging them.
I don't know which. I mean,
well,
they have to look at their
Accused.
bill. If they're writing their check to Jeff City Utilities, they need to call the City of Jefferson. If they're writing their check to Missouri American Water, then they need to call the Public Service Commission.
Okay,
I don't know who they write their bills to out there. My guess is the city, but I don't know that.
find out.
They're outside the
Okay.
city limits. City won't take them because when they built those streets out there, they didn't put them at the right grade or something.
Mhm.
Like,
I had somebody ask me about that fireworks stand there. I said, that's not city limits. Yeah, it is. That's got to be. That's all city limits. I said, no, it's not. And then we were talking about the dog ordinance thing. Are you all okay with looking at changing our definition of the urban service area? Because you said we define that, right, Jill? It doesn't have to be the 3 parcels per acre or
Right.
15 per whatever. We can change it so that if they want to do something in their own little area,
I don't have a problem if they want to do it in their own little area, but I mean,
Okay.
you know, we have to be cautious so that it doesn't come down to being 3 people in a neighborhood create their 3 houses in the middle of the neighborhood as a no dog zone, and the entire rest of the neighborhood is not one. It has to be entirety of neighborhoods.
and that's what
Which
we
is why
gotta-
Westview Heights worked. I mean, it's that huge area has one.
And that's where the definitions come into play. If they are a defined subdivision. or
Because, you know,
it's-
if you've got, say you've got
Yeah.
2 streets, okay, and the people on this street decide they want to have a leash law, and they should get everybody on all the streets, all the parts of the
Okay.
street to be on it, but they can't because people on this side of the street don't like it.
Right.
That doesn't work.
But we said 75%, which.
Of the
if you
entire
have-
neighborhood.
Okay, so.
And
in
I don't
definition of neighborhood, we have their subdivisions, which is on GIS, which is going to say.
the full, I mean, you know, I think in the end it'll be at our discretion. We're going to open a can of worms here we're going to be really unhappy with.
Well, that's why I want to be careful
There's
with it, but
a
I
case
want to
out of
look.
Boone County where they addressed their dog ordinance, and one of the things that the court considered was kind of a due process sort of thing, and I guess the point there would be, it should be a concentrated enough area where that restriction is reasonable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's one thing to
Well-
consider too, if you're
I mean,
looking at.
If you're dealing with houses that are on 5-acre tracts of land, it's kind of hard to justify.
Yeah.
Southwood Hills is like 1 acre. They're I mean bigger, smaller tracts, so they will not qualify for the 3 per acre. But if the people in that actual area do want to do that,
But see,
I give
last
them a tool, they can
time,
do
last time they came here, we said if you can get 75% of your folks to sign, we would impose it. And they came back and said we can't get that.
I didn't think we told them that they
We
got
did.
75%.
We did. We
Because they
specifically
didn't
said.
qualify for it.
Nope, we didn't get into the qualification. I didn't even know there was a qualification until this last time around. We told them if you can get a 75% of everybody out there to sign it, we would go along with it. And they came back and said we can't do that.
Okay, I don't remember that part, but I mean, if that's something that they can do, that's a tool they can use, basically to police themselves and not
All right.
put it on everybody else in the county.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. Chris?
Good.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to 610-021 sub 1, 2, and 3 to deal with legal issues, real estate, and personnel issues. I have a motion.
Second.
Motion second. Call roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, by roll call vote, we'll go into closed session. We'll take a couple minutes to get everything shut down. Go back in.
Okay. Oh, we got a lot of stuff for close session, don't we? Is it- was that sunshine thing on?
quick.
Some of it's pretty quick.